We all have heard about intermittent fasting, but does it actually work? Well, I use a variant of intermittent fasting that helped me get to the lowest body fat I've ever been at. And in my mornings, my workouts were so good. I had great energy, great motivation, and I was just ready to go throughout the day. But was this all down to intermittent fasting, or was it something else? In this video, I'm gonna take a dive into intermittent fasting and how it worked for me. Well, intermittent fasting is actually when you eat within an 8-hour time period, and then the remaining 16 hours of the day, you don't eat anything at all. Or beginners could do a 10-hour window of eating and 14 hours of no eating at all. I was new to this, so I kind of did the beginning way. And it still worked. The point of intermittent fasting is to decrease your insulin spikes and decrease your overall blood glucose in your body so that your body starts burning the fat instead of the glucose or the sugar within us. Your stored energy that your body stores within the liver and other organs starts getting burned around 12 hours after you fast, with variations per person. But point being is, if you fast a full 16 hours of intermittent fasting, that should mean your energy is being burnt, and then the remaining few hours you have are your fat being burned. Also, during this fasting period, you're having nothing at all. No sugar, no food, no carbs. So nothing is going into your body that's going to spike up your glucose levels and spike up your insulin. So all in all, your body is in a fasting state and it's trying to burn off that fat, which is great for fat loss and weight loss, which is what I was trying to do. So the less food you eat, the less calories you have in your body, and your body in turn loses weight. To make this work, you gotta make sure you only have 2 to 3 meals within the 8-hour period that you're supposed to eat in. No snacks whatsoever, and you're supposed to have 2 meals within that 8-hour period, but if you're a beginner, you can do 3 meals if you want to. And no snacks at all. The whole point of intermittent fasting is to lower the amount of time you have to eat so you end up eating less food. So if you're eating snacks, then you get the point across. Because if you overdo this, your body starts taking in the excess calories and starts storing the calories, and then you get more fat, or you don't even lose any weight at all. Make sure you're eating less than you're supposed to be. A good rule of thumb for people is if you take your body weight and you multiply it by 13, that's the ideal amount of calories you should eat to lose 1 pound per week. Now, this is kind of just a home rule, nothing official, but let's say you weigh 170 pounds. You multiply that by 13, you get 2,200 calories that you're supposed to eat in a day, and over 7 days, you'll lose 1 pound. This is now not specific for everyone. It's kind of just a general rule if you're trying to figure out how much you're supposed to eat. But a better way is if you do a basal metabolic rate calculator, type it up on Google, any search engine, find it, type in your details, and it'll tell you how many calories you're supposed to eat within a day to either maintain your weight, gain weight, or, as we're talking about, lose weight. So when I did this intermittent fasting myself, I didn't eat for that certain amount of time. It was the 14 hours of no eating anything. But on top of that, I was eating less foods. And yes, I did track my calories. No, I didn't have some fancy app or some spreadsheet where I wrote down everything. No, I mean, it's super simple. Just look at a BMR calculator, find out how many calories you need. I needed 1,800. So what did I do? I just looked at the back of labels. So I like 500. Okay, 500 in. Lunch, oh, 600. 600, 500, 1,100. Okay, I can eat 700 more. Okay, I'm gonna make some fish. How much is this fish? 500 calories. Let me add a couple hundred more of some rice. Ta-da, there you go. Simple math, keep it easy, round the numbers. You don't have to get exactly to the dot. Like, you know, there's some foods that have like a 1 or 2 at the end of their calorie number. It's like, why isn't it just round to like 550, 500? Estimate your numbers. You don't have to be all fancy with the calorie tracking, but yes, keeping track of the calorie numbers is probably the best way to go about this, because otherwise you're gonna be like, okay, did I eat enough? Did I eat too much? And it's really easy to overeat your food, and it's really easy to undereat as well. Because when you're dieting, you're like, oh, I can't eat this, can't eat this. Then end of the day, you've ate like 500 calories. That's not good at all. That's way too little. You want to make sure you keep a generic track of how many calories you're eating, and you should be good. And I did this for like 2.5 months, and I lost around 15 pounds. And I was working out throughout these 2.5 months. So I would like to say I kept most of my strength too. So most of the loss was fat, and I started looking really skinny. At the time, I didn't really have any muscle either. So I was just really scrawny looking, but I didn't have any fat really. This is a great way to lose fat in a healthy manner. And at the same time, when you get used to it, you start feeling more energetic. Because in the mornings, when you're skipping that breakfast, I just went straight to the gym, worked out, came back, then had my food like at 10 a.m. And by that time, you know, the day's already going, you're awake. Versus beforehand, when I did the traditional American style eating. I eat breakfast right away, like at 6:37. Then I feel like groggy for like a couple of hours, and it wasn't really fun. Fast forward to now, I'm trying to gain weight, and I still think intermittent fasting is a great way to go even if you're trying to gain weight. Just eat excess calories within that time frame. The reason I say this is still great even if you're trying to gain weight is it keeps your insulin spikes low. So if you have insulin spikes, that means you're having a lot of glucose in your body. And studies have shown that if you have a constantly elevated insulin level, you're gonna have more likelihood for disease like diabetes, obesity, cancers, among many other diseases. So if you're keeping your insulin spikes lower and less, that's probably better for you in the long term. If you're trying to lose some weight, try to be a little healthier, just be a generically more energized and better feeling person, try out intermittent fasting. I really think this is a great way of eating. I know it's gonna take a while. The first few weeks you're gonna be adjusting, like, okay, I feel really weak. But once your body adjusts to it, take a moment to realize how you feel and compare that to a couple months prior before you start intermittent fasting. Do you feel better? Do you feel more energetic? Do you feel like you've lost some weight? Do you feel like you've lost some fat? Feel like you've retained your muscle? Ask these questions. See if you like this. But I do heavily say, try this out. See if this works for you, because lower insulin spikes could prevent a lot of diseases and you're losing weight at the same time in a very healthy manner. If you enjoyed this video, go check out my other video on what's the best diet. And thank you guys for watching. And as always, stay healthy and stay happy. Bye.